Now on 11 at 11, caught on police body cam video, a Newport officer repeatedly punches a man in the face.
The Night on Your Side I-Team spent the last 6 months investigating how police in more than 30 local departments are using force. Chief investigative reporter Craig Cheatham reveals what happened to the Newport officer and the man he hit.
Just go. Where? Go. I don't give a crap.
2:30 a.m. outside a Newport bar, May of this year. Newport Police Sergeant Brandon Hafey orders Luther Hall IV to leave.
Big boy thinks he's big. He's about to get it.
Then Newport officer Steve Linville screams at Hall.
I don't think he stuttered, pumpkin. Get in the car.
Sergeant Hafey laughs, then rushes to Hall's car.
Oh, it's about to be fun. Get out of the car.
I'm not doing nothing. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You right?
Okay. Police had warned Hall's friend, Marcus Godfrey, to stay back. Godfrey steps forward. Officer Linville shoves Godfrey, then repeatedly punches him in the face.
You're under arrest. Whoa, you're under arrest.
Put your hands behind your back. Come on. Put your hands behind
your back. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. Just put him back. Get on the ground. Why you hitting?
Linville admitted punching Godfrey with his fist up to 10 times. A Newport Police Department use of force report also says Godfrey indicated that he wasn't hurt.
Are you hurt? Huh? No.
He was told he was under arrest, right?
Right.
Okay. And so at that point, are you allowed to tense up and resist the police?
If someone tenses up, are you allowed to punch them in the face and the ribs up to 10 times?
I'm going to be argumentative. I'm not wanting an argument with you. That's not what this is about.
There's a line there.
We showed the same police video to Scott Roeder, a Cleveland-based trial consultant. Roeder testified as a defense expert for Ray Tensing, the former UC police officer who shot and killed Sam DuBose.
Totally unreasonable. There's no reason for detention of Mr. Godfrey, I believe, at this particular point.
Roeder told us he was also concerned about Sergeant Hafey's idea of fun.
That's a bad-intentioned individual. You know, that officer needs to be retrained, disciplined. It shouldn't be fun.
I know that officer, he's not an aggressive policeman, been with us for some time. A lot of these guys use that as tools that they want to get themselves prepared to go in battle.
The I-Team's investigation found the type of police force used on Godfrey last May is rare, but the risk of serious injury, even death, is always there.
That is the worst nightmare.
Boone County Sheriff Michael Helmig completely reshaped the office's approach to using force after Deputy Tyler Brockman shot and killed 19-year-old Samantha Ramsey as she tried to drive away from a party in 2014. Sheriff Helmig got body cameras, tracked show of force, and emphasized training.
It's training what you do with different scenarios of making decisions whether to use force or not use force, or the appropriate force that should be used.
In 2014, Boone County had 38 use of force incidents. Last year, there were 14, a 63% decrease. The reforms are partly the result of a $3.5 million settlement paid to the family of Samantha Ramsey. But few cases get that kind of attention.
I should have got a ticket and went in the house and went to bed. That didn't happen.
8 months ago, Middletown police officers pulled over Marvin Davis because they say he didn't use his turn signal.
He get me out the car, pat me down on the car right here.
Davis says a police dog scratched his car as it sniffed for drugs.
After he did all that, him and the dog walked past me, and I do this, like, literally right here, like.
Davis moved from the place police told him to stand, so he says Officer Ryan Morgan forced him to the ground, where the canine repeatedly bit Davis, leaving a deep and painful wound on his side.
He was putting the cuffs on while the dog was still biting him. I was out here screaming, why is you letting this dog do me like this?
Officers didn't find drugs in Davis's car, but he was charged with resisting arrest and obstruction of justice. A visiting Middletown judge, who was a retired appeals court judge, acquitted Davis.
I'm scarred for life.
Middletown Police Chief Rodney Muterspall defended the force because he says Davis is a safety issue to our officers. based on Davis's criminal history, which includes a 1995 conviction for aggravated assault, more recent felony drug convictions, and a 2014 weapon possession charge. But the I-Team's investigation found that until recently, there was no charge for resisting arrest and no criminal records indicating Davis has ever threatened officers.
You're under arrest!
Newport officer Linville also insisted his safety was an issue when he shoved and repeatedly punched Godfrey, while other officers helped Linville get Godfrey under control.
I'm not a criminal, man.
Okay, well, you are now.
The Newport Police Department determined that Linville had used appropriate force, but Godfrey couldn't understand why Linville had to beat him like that.
He punched me, and I'm like, all right, okay, here we go. Damn, man, I didn't do nothing to you. Why you punching me? Yeah. So I went down, punched me again. Said, hey, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You should have just set up.
The Newport PD's report on the incident praised Officer Linville's empty-handed force, saying it kept Marcus Godfrey's injuries to a minimum. The charges filed against Marcus Godfrey and his friend Luther Hall IV were dismissed. Newport Police Chief Tom Collins repeatedly contradicted himself during our interview. He said that he didn't like the way Linville handled it, but he also defended the way Linville handled it. Collins signed off on the use of force report that called it justified. Craig Cheatham, 9 on your side.